Please join us every week for a new episode of Understanding the Human Condition with Dr. James Flowers. Dr. Flowers and his most admired mentors, respected colleagues, and VIP guests will share valuable insight into underlying health causes, conditions, and issues. These in-depth yet approachable episodes are a great resource for both private individuals and industry professionals. Our esteemed host, Dr. James Flowers, is one of the most recognized and respected names in the field of chronic pain, mental health, and substance use disorders, both nationally and internationally. Dr. Flowers is the founder of J. Flowers Health Institute, located in Houston, Texas. For more information about J. Flowers Health Institute and its concierge services, go to jflowershealth.com or dial 713-783-6655. And be sure to mention this podcast.
Welcome to Understanding the Human Condition with our host, Dr. James Flowers.
Hey, Robin.
Hey, you.
I am so excited today. We have two guests we've never had before. One is my practice partner, Robbin Mooney.
Yes.
So today we're going to get confused, Robin and Robin, but we have Robin French and Robbin Mooney. So Robin, I'm so glad that you flew into Houston for this and amongst other things that we're working on together. And then I'm really excited that we have Angela Carrillo, one of our favorite people and one of my favorite friends and human beings on the face of this earth.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for flying
happy
in.
you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I wanted to read a little bit about both women, both of these amazing women and our VIP guests, if I may.
You bet.
Robbin Mooney first. She's our co-founder and our Chief Development Officer. Since 1998, Robbin Mooney has worked in the health and wellness industry, creating and implementing dynamic marketing solutions, designs, and branding messages for a variety of companies. Business development, public relations, and marketing roles have been her passion, and through these roles, she's found a way to help others find a full and successful life. Robbin feels fortunate to be able to merge her entertainment background and holistic wellness specialties into the health and wellness services field. Robbin served as the outreach and communications liaison for Crossroads Center at Antigua. Did I say it right?
Antigua, yes.
An internationally recognized addiction treatment program founded by Eric Clapton in 1998. For 16 years at Willingway Hospital, she served in various roles such as the Director of Communications, Marketing and Special Events Coordinator, and Willingway Hospital was the first freestanding addiction treatment hospital in the state of Georgia, as well as one of the first in the country. Over the past 17 years, she's been actively involved supporting Music Cares, which is the nonprofit arm of the Recording Academy, helping musicians and individuals in the entertainment industry find the recovery help they need.
Thank you, Robin.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And Angela, for those who don't know her, but I'm sure everybody does, as a woman in recovery for over 2 decades and the founder and the COO of Brass Tacks Recovery, Angela brings a rare skill set which combines personal experience and comprehension of both internal and external professional synergy. Angela is a certified interventionist, professional and relational coach with a background in eating disorder and substance use fields. She is a member of the board of directors of WAAT, and held board positions within various chapters of the LA IAEDP, and also co-founded VFED. And we can go more into that. Oh, yeah. In addition to Brass Tacks Recovery, Angela and her business partner, Aaron Postel, have a nonprofit foundation that supports individuals who are recovering from substance abuse. On her path to self-discovery, Angela enlisted in the Army after seeing a commercial encouraging her to be all that you can be, and served our country for 4 years.
Thank you so much.
Angela has an insatiable curiosity and unwavering commitment to helping others live a healthy, transparent, and genuine life, and it drives her continued self-growth and education. She believes in the power of language, love, truth, and community. Angela can be kind and even when fierce. Angela can speak hard truths in ways that can be heard, assimilated, and integrated. Mm-hmm. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So good to be here.
Thank you for being here. You know, I thought that you were in the Army and then became sober, but you were sober first?
No, I was in the Army and then became sober.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's what, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for the confusion.
That's all right. That's okay. That's all right. Tell us about your Army experience. I'd love to hear about that.
Oh, gosh. It's always the question people ask because it's such a curious one, I think, especially for a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
joined the military in 1985, and in all honesty, it was a solution to the fact that I couldn't really get my life together.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I did see a commercial It was late in the evening, and it had a woman on the commercial, and she had a pointer, and she looked like she knew what she was doing. And it said, "Be all you can be." And at that time in my life, I was far from who I thought I could be. And it was influential, and I joined. I served for 4 years, and almost re-enlisted, and changed my mind at the last minute.
Yeah,
you're like a living, breathing, walking billboard for them. You should send this clip to them, right?
Well,
still,
thank you for your service.
Well, and they all don't look like you.
I think no, they don't. I think the Army actually probably helped me a little bit more than I helped the Army, but nonetheless, I enjoyed serving.
Yeah. That's so amazing.
Yeah.
And how long have you been sober now?
22 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
I'll be
is
23
amazing.
years sober actually in just a few days.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm blessed.
It's a big deal.
How did all of you meet? Let's talk about that.
We met at a conference, West Coast, I believe.
Yep.
And at a networking event, at some really good people, had a barbecue, and someone told me I needed to meet Angela, and so I went up and said hello.
You did. Robin's amazing too.
Best
I mean, we just
barbecue on the West Coast.
Yes.
Such a fun event.
It was.
Yeah, but West Coast Symposium.
Yes.
My favorite conference too.
Yeah, it's my favorite conference of the year.
Yes.
I love that conference. I missed it so much this year.
Yes.
I know, me too, because it doesn't feel like it's all work.
No.
You feel like you're having a little bit of a vacation, and I think that lightens it, and we all connect just a little bit more on a deeper level.
Absolutely. Robbin, tell us a little bit about your journey. Tell all of our listeners about your journey.
My journey.
Here. Yeah.
Which journey would you like?
Whichever one you want.
Well, I would love to say how I met you, and that was also in the addiction and mental health field. And Dr. Flowers and I kind of ran in the same groups, and I was with Crossroads Antigua at the time, and Dr. Flowers was out speaking, and he would be keynotes at many conferences, and I always loved his philosophy. And just when we started getting to know each other, running in the same circles, we started becoming friends, and then Dr. Flowers and I talked about joining and forming J. Flowers Health Institute, and that has been an incredible journey. It has been the best experience in my life, professional life. It's challenging at the same time, but also so fulfilling, knowing that we're helping people and really getting that clear diagnosis before someone goes to treatment, which is so important.
Right.
So important. So that's just a little bit of one of my journeys, and I'm so grateful to be a part of the organization and to be with this fantastic team. And Angela just is one of my dearest friends on the West Coast, and I know that there's a few things that I know we'll be talking about today with you, and I'm happy to ask a few things that I think the listeners would like to hear about you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that, what I would say about meeting Robbin and Angela is that other than this year, every month of the year almost we're at conferences, traveling and speaking and presenting and networking with each other. And I used to go to LA 3 or 4 times a month, it seems like, constantly. And Angela and I share so many common friends out on the West Coast, and really we just became close through our mutual friends and conferences and going to dinners together with other people. And the thing about recovery is, and at recovery conferences, and one of my favorite things is that the people that you choose, or I guess the people that I choose, but really overall in the community, it's such an authentic community, right? And you get to meet authentic people like Angela, and there's no airs, and there's no I am Angela of Brass Tacks Recovery, even though she is.
Yes.
She's all that. That Army taught her not only to be what she can be, but she is who she is.
Very clear.
And obviously has come a long way. And Brass Tacks is one of my favorite companies to work with in this industry because, again, of that authenticity, the truth, the integrity, the ethics, the family work that they do, the consultancies that they do, the companion work that they do, and everything else. So I was wondering, Angela, if you'd tell the audience a little bit about you and Aaron and how you guys started working together and formed Brass Tacks, because it's an amazing program to work with.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's an honor to work with J. Flowers Institute and with
Thank
you, Dr.
you.
Flowers. When I met Aaron years before Brass Tacks started.
Yep.
And Aaron was actually, I can say this, he's transparent. Aaron was new in his own recovery. And he came up to me one day, and we hardly knew each other, and he said to me, I'm going to start a business, and I want to do it with you. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, what a cute newcomer. Such high aspirations.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, has that man proven me wrong? He's a visionary. And I was in the industry. I'd worked in different capacities, business development. I worked in the eating disorder side, substance use. I also worked with adolescents. And long story short, I became very discouraged with the industry and where it was going. It was a time when managed care was kicking in. People were popping up treatment centers all over the place. And it was becoming messy. And as a woman in recovery, and just as a person who values her character, I was having a hard time standing in the belief that what we were doing in the mental health industry was actually helping. And I feel that it became more about profit margins than it did about client care. Long story short, right as I was leaving, Aaron caught me and said, what do you mean you're leaving the industry? I'm ready to do something. And this is years later. And I said, I'm out of here. I'm going to go back to being a paralegal, or I worked in corporate America. And he said, well, just wait. I have this idea. And I said, okay. And
that's amazing.
I said, I'll do anything except interventions in families.
Yeah.
He goes, wait, that's what we're doing.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
And I said, no. And you know what? Aaron always believed in me at that time more than I believed in myself.
Yeah.
I think Aaron saw something in me that I hadn't yet seen in myself. And he was the product of an intervention, and his family was supported to the point where he believes he wouldn't be sober if it wasn't for that family support.
Yep.
So I came in, and as he says, I kind of put us on steroids a little bit. But
Of course you did.
Right.
Of course you did. So tell us what Brass Tacks does with families and interventions and things.
So Brass Tacks Recovery really is founded in the fundamental belief that our value system as a company is more important than our family's wallet. In saying that, we provide comprehensive wraparound care. And that ranges, as you said, in anything from intervention all the way into real life integration. And our average family stays with us anywhere from, I'd say, 3 months up to 4 years, depending on what's going on with them. We don't believe in staying in with a family when they no longer need us, because that's taking advantage of their vulnerability. So we really hand walk a family through any and all resources and an entire treatment process.
Yeah. And I can certainly testify to that, because we've worked with families together, even this year and late last year and over the years, really. And sometimes we've stayed involved with each other in a particular family for an extended period of time, and sometimes it was 90 days. But it was always an incredible experience.
Well, with you as
time.
well.
Oh,
I mean, the way you customize and collaborate, I honestly believe that I wish that every client was able to be properly assessed the way that J. Flowers assesses. I believe a lot of treatment, I don't like to say the word failure, but possibly maybe where an individual didn't thrive or didn't get well, or I believe that often they were being treated possibly in more of a conveyor belt method than an individualized one. And I know that word individualized gets thrown around
everywhere.
Buzzwords, but you really do. You really do.
Yes.
You know,
You
and
really do.
we were just talking to Robbin and I were just talking about that recently, and that talking to a family, and oftentimes I talk to family about true individualized treatment. And the mother even said, "Oh, I've heard that."
Oh,
and
yeah.
I said, I'm sure every
on
phone
every
call
brochure.
you do. Let me give you a few examples. And when her daughter finished, she was like, "Wow, that was individualized. That I can't believe what you guys did." But anyway, it's not about us; it's about you today. So, Robbin, what do you think?
Well, I just have one thing that really stands out with you, Angela, is how you can be kind and fierce at the same time. And tell me a little bit how you found that voice to get to the heart of being able to articulate to the family and and tell them what they need to hear, and have them be able to really hear it. Give us a little bit of how you got there.
That's a great question, and actually really hits my heart. You kind of hit that place in me that gets up in the morning. You know, my mother died of alcoholism in 1996, and my mother died on Skid Row, and my father was an alcoholic as well, and I came from a lot of alcoholism. I don't know if I knew how much that was driving me when I entered this industry, which was an industry that I had no intention of entering. I really wanted to keep my recovery separate, and I wanted to do something in career that didn't mix with that, and the universe had a different plan. I think, you know, my mother left at 3, so not having a mother and then her dying and me not really understanding that relationship, I actually understand something about motherhood that I believe is different. And parents need to hear the truth, at least as we see it. They're coming to us because they're in one of the most painful positions they've ever been in their life. And they're trusting us with the most precious thing to them, their child.
Right.
And if we don't let them know what we see as professionals, if we don't have those tough conversations, no, don't get him an apartment, it's not the right time, he needs to get a job and do some work and gain some self-esteem. If we're not committed to that in a fierce way, in an authentic way, in a real loving way, I don't think that family has an opportunity to change. I don't think they're given the best tools. And parents can't help but be parents.
That's right.
Right.
You can't not be a parent. You can't not see your child as the best, right?
Yes.
Don't you know, Angela, they're an artist, and they are all that. And at the time, they're also struggling with addiction and mental health issues, and that requires an entirely different parenting approach.
That's right.
Yeah.
It really does.
You talk a lot about hope, and you write a lot about that in your blog, hope in recovery. Can we touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think hope is everything. I don't believe in fairy tale hope. I think that's fantasy. I think there's a difference. And yet as humans, especially in this time, which I won't even get into, hope is essential. I believe that hope opens our hearts. And when our hearts are open because we believe that something can be different, it can be better, it can be more amazing, more loving, more tender, more connected, I believe that that opens a door for anything. And hope coupled with faith and some solid action, I mean, miracles happen.
Yes,
I
they
hear
do.
a book in that.
I know.
It's there.
I love it.
It's there.
Yeah.
There's some pages.
Exactly.
I write and I run.
Yes, exactly. Right.
When you've got on your website, you became fascinated with Native American spirituality and philosophy. Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some beliefs that may be controversial around the way that we obtained our land as people. And I think that's another conversation. Yet I believe that the Native American culture understands the simplicity of how harmonious this world can be, how the earth and the stars and the ancestors, their respect for the elders, which I believe our culture, including me, when I say we, it's a collective conscious. We forget our elders. We forget the wisdom that their lives, trials and tribulations have brought, and they are wells that we should draw from. And I think Native American, I love sweat lodges. I go as often as I can just to sit and to try and connect.
It's Sweat Lodge. What is that?
It's a Native American, it's a culture, it's a tradition, a practice, and it's an actual sweat lodge, and you go in. There's various kinds, whether it's Dakota or other, and you actually, it's a spiritual ceremony. I can tell you more about it if you're interested. I'm sure you guys have some great ones out here. In Texas.
You know, and off air, we'll talk about where you go and where your favorite place is, because I'd love to do that. Absolutely. I've always wanted to do it, and I just haven't taken the opportunity to do it. And you know, our show is called Understanding the Human Condition, and everything that she has said, that you have said today, is part of the human condition, and part of your authenticity is the human condition. But what's your When you hear understanding the human condition, what do you think of about what is the human condition to you?
Well, first, the word understanding, I think it's impossible.
Exactly.
I love it, though. It's a learning word. It's a seeking word. To understand, it's an action word. I think the human condition is so rich with layers. I believe that we gather these beliefs in our life, from culture, from our environment, from our families, which is why families, I'm so passionate, and we're so passionate about them, is each of us as individuals has a belief system, and that belief system really drives our thoughts, and those thoughts drive our actions and our decisions, and thus create a life. And it's about discovering those belief systems, and do they even work for someone? I remember being a certain age as an adult and questioning what was handed to me as a belief around love, around trust, around things like cheating and fear and topics that are painful, betrayal, what does that mean, and really challenging that. And I think the human condition is just so layered between the physical, the biological, the emotional, social, everything. It's all, and we're all thrown here. And I also believe, I know in Buddhism they say that one must be lost to be found. And I really believe as human beings we need to lose ourselves to some degree, and we each have some sort of moment where we pivot, or it really challenges who we are as a person. And in that moment we can choose maybe to wake up and to change, or maybe to not wake up. And that's not even bad. I don't even judge that. I don't claim to be some conscious, awake individual. I am one within but that doesn't mean that someone else is not one.
Right. Absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
I remember saying when I first started with the J. Flowers Health Institute, I went back and I told Nancy, we share a mutual friend, and I said, they're just the coolest people, and they're just so nice and friendly and authentic. And she said, her comment was, well, of course they are. Most of, you've got a lot of people who come from a recovery world, and personally too, and they've done the work on themselves,
Honesty,
of course they are.
Yeah, it's really strong. Something that we like to follow is that, the principles of the program, right?
Yeah.
Do you have time to tell us a little bit about AA Foundation? Not A, no, excuse me, A&A Foundation.
The
A&A Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should talk about that. So
Foundation.
Aaron calls me, my business partner's fabulous, and when he gets an idea, he's on one. And we needed a name for a nonprofit because we were having our first charity event.
Wow.
And running Brass Tacks, being working owners, you experience that from us often. We're both working owners, so time management can be challenging. So he calls me, and I was out of town, and he's like, we have to find a name for the nonprofit. And I said, okay, just don't name it something fluffy like Serenity or something, like let's keep it real. And he's like, well, we need to do it now. What if we just do the A&A Foundation? And I was like, no, that's too close to AA, right? Like we're never, and he's like, but we can change it. Angela and Aaron, it's fine. We got to go. And I was like, okay, go.
Right.
And so that was it. And now it is.
It's a great foundation. Do you have time to tell us a little bit about it?
So the A&A Foundation really came, Aaron wanted a nonprofit, and I did as well. And Aaron is a golfer, and that is his passion. So what the A&A Foundation does is we have an annual charity golf classic, which is an amazing golf tournament. People fly in from all over the world, and they golf, and we give an award to an individual in the community who's a warrior in the community, and then we have an award that we named the Candy Finnegan LifeWorks Award for someone who's dedicated their life to this work. Jeff Holbrook won it last year. And the funds are there. There's a form online that families can fill out, and basically there's a board of directors that decides where the funds are going, and it's for individuals. Primarily the funds are there for aftercare. It is a smaller nonprofit right now, but aftercare for sober livings, transitional lives. However, we have approved some funds for psychological and psychiatric evaluations as well. So
amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So amazing. I love that. Robbin, what are you up to these days?
Goodness. Well, just trying to help people. It's just, like I said, I love the challenge of working with you, and you're not a challenge, but
I know.
But the challenge of starting a company and being as thorough of a company that we do, and really helping the folks that need it, and trying to be on the top of our game, or my game, trying to be on the top of my game.
Absolutely.
And he holds very high standard, and but he's also very inspiring. And I'm so happy that you're a part of our team too, Robbin.
Thank you. I'm enjoying it.
It's just been fabulous. So, and we get to have wonderful guests like Angela on.
Yep.
And so that is what I've been up to,
So
Dr.
just
Flowers.
lobbing some fun questions out there. Angela, what's your favorite fluff thing to do? Like just for yourself, pampering yourself, taking care of self-care.
Guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it's funny because you know what? I've been working on being fluffier. I've been mentored by a lot of people, some positive and some negative, around is what you're doing right now making a difference. So I have a tendency to really utilize my time to produce constantly. Okay. Yet, as I'm trying to learn to fluff it up a little bit, I do love working out. I really love exercising and just getting away. I will take a massage any day.
Good.
I mean, all day long.
Yeah.
And hanging out with friends, and I love to laugh. It's one of the reasons I love working with you guys, too, as complicated and complex as the cases get.
Yes.
We laugh and we have a good time.
Right.
And I wanted to say this to you. I thought about this last night. You go so above and beyond to communicate and collaborate, and the way you care, it makes me emotional. When we work together, I know you are in it with us the whole way. Any way we can, we will turn over any stone, and that's what we do, and that's what you do.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful for your work and your work, and it's so nice to meet you. What a phenomenal team.
Right?
I mean, it's so incredible.
I love it.
like
I do too.
I feel, of course, we're friends and colleagues, and I love collaborating with you guys. And so thank you for doing this. How tell everybody knows, but our listeners know, but how does the audience get a hold of Brass Tacks?
Well, our website is www.brasstacksrecovery.com. Yep. And there's an 888 number, and we also have an online contact form. And anything we can do, if we can't help you, we guarantee we'll find someone who can.
I love it.
Wonderful.
And I would encourage any family member out there listening, family, friend, colleague, anyone that needs the services of Brass Tacks that they offer. And it's such a wide range of services that you guys please reach out to Angela, Aaron, anybody on their team. They're a phenomenal company to work with in this industry. And Robbin French, how do people reach us?
jflowershealth.com. Or you can call us at 713-783-6655, and Leslie will answer. And give us a call.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for
everyone.
doing this, Angela.
Thank you.